Good morning, televiewers. Thanks for joining us on today's edition of Prime News on My Media Prime TV. It is the 20th of October 2022. We begin the news in Cameroon's Far North region, where at least 3 persons have died of cholera and 39 infected in the Manao refugee camp, Far North region of Cameroon. This is according to the United Nations and Cameroonian authorities. It is worth highlighting that cholera, an acute diarrheal disease that can kill within hours if not treated, periodically reappears in Cameroon. The disease is contracted by drinking water or eating food contaminated with the Vibrio cholera bacterium. Over in the northwest region, the people of Guzang Batibo are mourning the loss of one of theirs, Mami Cecilia Angui, who was reportedly shot dead by men in military uniform. The over 70-year-old mother was killed on Wednesday, October 19, 2022, after the discovery of a dug-up hole containing explosives some 500 meters on the ground close to her house. The said explosives were reportedly discovered by military officers. A Cameroonian man whose name we got as Peter Fele has reportedly committed suicide while in detention in Dubai. The said man, who is from Limbe, a town in the southwest region of Cameroon, was found lifeless by his prison mates on Wednesday, 19th October 2022. According to reports, his body has been handed to the Consulate General of Cameroon in Dubai by the police for identification, while persons capable of identifying the young man's family have been urged to come forward and link them with the United Arab Emirates authorities. Captives of the Chang incident have been seen in a viral video pleading with the Catholic Church authorities to secure their release. These captives are from the St. Mary Catholic Church in Chiang Mai Division, who were kidnapped on September 16, 2021. Note that the president of the Bamenda Ecclesiastical Province said the kidnappers had demanded a ransom of about 15 million francs CFA, but the Catholic Church does not have money to pay nor willing to encourage ransom payments. Over in Bafia, security forces have arrested a notorious drug dealer, popularly known as Bebe Rasta. He was arrested in Bafia, Central region of Cameroon. According to security officers, the man, who is self-proclaimed the untouchable, was found with banknotes and thousands of 100 francs coins during a search in a suspected building. The mayor of Bafia, Math Zinchem, says the man has been supplying drugs in the Mbam and Inubu division. Findings are on course to dismantle the network he is in charge of. Until this other human interest story, an abandoned baby has been discovered and is being cared for at a local hospital in Chiang West region of Cameroon. According to sources, a passerby discovered a newborn abandoned in a small valley in the Mento neighborhood in Chiang on her way to the farm. Medics have confirmed that the baby is stable and in good health. Meantime, investigations have been opened to know who abandoned the baby there. Over 322 newly recruited teachers of basic education sector from 4 divisions in the East region of Cameroon have in a 3-day seminar received training on different administrative techniques to boost the quality of education in the region. Let's now get more in this report with Catherine Ekongwe.
The 3-day seminar organized by the Ministry of Basic Education saw these teachers received training on different administrative techniques to boost the quality of education in the region and the country at large.
The objective of the Minister of Basic Education is to have a quality education. So he has sent us here to come and train these newly recruited teachers, so that because today they are already like members, personnel of the Ministry of Basic Education. So they have to know the mission, the organization, the functioning, and the challenges of the Ministry of Basic Education. They have to know their rights and their obligations, and not forgetting the pedagogy, which we know it's very, very important, which they have to apply in class. What they have to teach, how they have to teach it is very important.
With the new reforms in the basic education sector, organizers underscore the importance of the training seminar.
This year we have a little particularity that has been added, is ethics and deontology, because we see the values, the human values that are like eroding. So the minister thought it would be good when we talk, we try to talk about ethics to bring up the human values that are already eroding. People just do anything, send on Facebook, send on social media. So I think this will also be very important for the teachers of today.
The training workshop, which took place in Betua recently, was chaired by the East Regional Delegate for Basic Education, Aminu Sanda Zua, in the presence of the head of delegation from the Ministry of Basic Education, Madame Etame Rosemary.
Health experts in the South region of Cameroon have warned against the excessive consumption of prawns by denizens. Nonetheless, given that the season has favored fishermen lately, the excess is not only a consumer satisfier but also creates employment for many. Let's get more in this report with Dolin Gonde.
It is the prawn season in the seaside city of Kribi, South region of Cameroon. Since the start of the rainy season, shrimps, prawns and other associates can be seen in enormous quantities from the markets, restaurants, households and other resort areas, all to the delight of the consumers.
I love shrimps because it's a source of protein. It also has a very nice taste. But you also know, just like all the seafood, it is a good source of iodine, which is an important element for the body.
However, like it is said, too much of a thing is but a disease. So too is the excess intake of prawns to the body, as better elucidated by Dr. Kwazu Chano Orich, a general medical practitioner. Inasmuch as crayfish falls under one of the most important nutrient class in our diet, that notwithstanding, the excess consumption of this protein grade can lead to many more complicated diseases. The excess in supply, nonetheless, has not only swollen the pockets of both the fishermen and women, but has also brought about many delving into the sector while making the most of the season despite the dangers involved, especially during the search.
In news out of the country, one of the poorest and most arid states in the world, Chad, has been hit by exceptional floods that have affected hundreds of thousands of lives. In the capital city, N'Djamena, a field of tents has been fixed to provide emergency shelter, and victims are striving to salvage what they can from the ruins of their homes. Water levels rose by up to 5 meters, which, according to local officials, was unprecedented, and swept aside makeshift defenses erected by desperate inhabitants. Over in Zimbabwe, the country has approved the use of long injectable cabotegravir Kaplar as pre-exposure prophylaxis PrEP for HIV prevention, the first for Africa. According to the World Health Organization, Kaplar may be offered to people at substantial risks of HIV acquisition as part of comprehensive HIV prevention measure. However, in most African countries, it includes sex workers and others sidelined from access to health care because of laws and societal segregation. The president of Madagascar, Andry Rajoelina, has sacked his foreign minister, Richard Randrianmandranto, without giving an explanation. But a week after Madagascar voted at the United Nations to condemn Russia's illegal annexations of Ukrainian territory. On Tuesday, before a planned trip to Morocco, the president signed the repeal decree dismissing his minister. In the face of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Madagascar has adopted a non-aligned policy despite the invitation from the European Union and the United States to condemn Russia. Let's now talk sports. The indomitable Lions of Cameroon, a pair of them, have been sending strong signals with their performances in their various clubs ahead of the 2022 Qatar Intercontinental Tournament. Chopo Muting, Christophe Wu and Fai Collins are examples of Lions who are lately picking from their clubs. These players and more will be unveiled in this report compiled for us by Eyang Magdela Bisa.
Cameroon and Bayern Munich forward Eric Maxime Choupo-Moting contributed in Bayern's 5-0 mauling of SC Freiburg by scoring a goal. The indomitable Lion, who has been on the receiving end of criticisms for not being very productive lately, probably for not having enough game time, recorded his third goal of the season in 8 games played for the club. Equally, Lea Slicky put up a near-heroic performance by contributing to his club's Estoril's 3-2 win over Amora in round 32 of the Portuguese Cup. The Cameroonian midfielder was on target when they faced Gil Vicente by scoring the lone goal in the encounter to hand his club a 1-0 victory. 26-year-old Cameroon international Zé Lamkel scored and provided an assist in the Jupiter Pro League for his side, Court Rigic, as they came from 2 goals down to record a 2-2 draw on Tuesday. Providing an assist last Monday and then again on Saturday, indomitable Lion of Cameroon defender Fai Ngoran Collins is back to his finest form. The dependable Fai was just unstoppable after providing an assist for Al Thai despite their 3-2 defeat to Al Hilal on Saturday. After scoring the lone goal in Rennes's 1-0 win against Dynamo Kiev last week, Christopher Wu, Cameroonian defender, was again in action against Carl Tokwe Ekambi's Olympique of Lyonnais. Christopher's Rennes beat Ekambi's Lyon 3-2, though Ekambi, who doesn't seem to find much favor in the eyes of the newly appointed coach Laurent Blanc, only made his way into the game at the 85th minute of play.
In more sports news, nearly 2.9 million tickets have been sold for the World Cup Qatar. FIFA and organizers revealed the information recently, leaving about 7% of seats still available a month before the 2022 continental event. People living in England, Saudi Arabia and the United States topped the list of international ticket buyers, while Mexico was the biggest market outside Qatar for corporate hospitality sales. Note that more tickets will be made available before the tournament starts on November 20. FIFA's tournament director, Colin Smith, said at a news conference in Doha held with Qatari organizers. And that concludes today's edition of Prime Flash. I have been Eileen Summer, thanking you all for viewing. Details of some of these stories and more will be yours at exactly 6:30 p.m. during Prime News with Fon Quinta. The news was produced by Modika, Elvis. Stay tuned to more amazing programs coming up this day on My Media Prime Television, The African Eye. Up next is The Brief with Lasha Kingsley and Bomotengina Gladys. Have a blessed day. Bye.
Welcome to a new world of TV broadcasting. My Media Prime. News, discovery, culture, sport.